Welcome to Debbie's Cowgirl Kitchen. Scallions, chicken broth, cream style corn, grits, cayenne pepper, onion powder, smoked paprika, garlic, oregano, basil, which I'm using to substitute for thyme, and celery salt. These are the ingredients for Cajun shrimp and cheesy grits. It also calls for milk, water, and cheese. It calls for pepper jack cheese and cheddar cheese, but I just have the 5-blend cheese, and that's what I'm going to use. And as far as the basil goes, I looked that up online to make sure what I could use as a substitute for thyme, so that's why I'm using basil. I'm melting my 2 tablespoons of butter, and I will be adding the white part of the scallions and 1 cup of water. Okay, my butter is starting to sizzle, so I'm going to add my onions and let those saute. Okay, the onions are sauteing, and I'm putting in the creamed corn. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of sea salt. I use the Himalayan sea salt, so I'll put a little pinch in there of that, and some pepper, This has been cooking for 5 minutes now, so I'm going to add 1 cup of water. And I'm going to use my immersion blender and blend this up. Okay, once you get that blended up pretty well, you add 2 cups of chicken broth and 1 cup of milk. I use the powdered milk because I don't always have milk on hand, so I keep powdered milk in my pantry. Okay, this is going to simmer for a few minutes. Okay, this has been cooking for a while, so now I'm going to add 1 cup of grits. Stir constantly and let this cook for about 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll make our Cajun butter. Okay, I'm going to get my spices together. It calls for 1 teaspoon of sugar. I don't use sugar, I use honey, but I do have some Splenda, so I'm going to use Splenda, and it's just 1 packet of Splenda. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. And it calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, celery salt, oregano. I'm using basil as a substitute for thyme, 1/2 teaspoon of that, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Mix those together well. Nice little mixture for the Cajun butter, and I've just got to tell you, it's wonderful. You're going to want to turn your pan to medium heat, and you're going to put your spices in this pan, and just to wake up the spices, and then you're going to add 4 tablespoons of butter. But you need to put your spices in here and let them wake up for about 3 minutes. It enhances the flavor. Grits are looking good. Okay, put my butter in. And we're going to let this butter melt. And we're going to stir everything until it all comes together. The recipe calls for you to fry your shrimp, but I normally just put it in with the seasoned butter, and that's how we eat it. I don't particularly care to fry my shrimp. I do like fried shrimp, but we're trying to eat healthy right now, so this works better for us. Okay, the butter's melted pretty much, and we're just gonna sit here and let this come together for a few minutes. I want to make sure you can see how delicious this looks. And the smell of these spices cooking is amazing. And our grits, they look delicious as well. This is going to be so yummy. Next, I will be adding this cheese into the grits. And then what we'll do is we'll plate up the grits, and we'll put the shrimp and the Cajun butter. Stay tuned. All right, I'm stirring in 2 ounces or 1/4 cup of cheese into the grits. All right, getting ready to add the shrimp into the Cajun butter. We're just going to saute that for a few minutes, and then we will plate up the food. You can use as much shrimp as you want, but it's just Frankie and I, so this is more than enough for the 2 of us. And I'm just going to let that shrimp slow cook for a little while. It won't take long because it's pre-cooked shrimp. And then we will show you the end results. Okay, everyone, the finished product. It is just delicious, and as Frankie always says, exploding with flavor. I'll put a link to the recipe, which I got on the internet, and y'all can try it. Y'all have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.